Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought it was about time to give you guys an IVF update. I've done 6 nights of injections and today is STIM day 7, so time has kind of flown. So every night for the past 6 nights I have been taking 75 units of gonal F and 150 units of pergoveris. Pretty sure that's how you say it. My injections have been at night. And it's winter here in Australia, so the sun has been setting at around 5 PM, which makes it difficult to film the injections with good lighting. I always use natural light rather than artificial light. So I do want to still show you the injections, at least show you one of the nights where I'm doing it, just, you know, not only for me to document it, but one of you might find it interesting. So I definitely will be doing that. I might try and do that tonight. And you know, the lighting will just be average, but that's okay. And then a couple of days ago I added in orgalutran, which is the injection that stops you from ovulating, and that injection definitely hurts more than the other two. It stings afterwards, and I find it harder to go in the skin. I take that in the morning, so tomorrow morning I will try and film me doing that injection. I did actually film myself do that injection and realised at the end I'd forgotten to press record. So yeah, so far injections have been going well. I started feeling little twinges and my ovaries started feeling fuller around day 4 of STIMs. So yeah, I definitely noticed that the medications were doing something. Yesterday on STIM day 6 was my first follicle scan and blood. So I had my blood drawn to see where my hormone levels are at. I don't have those exact details as yet. I've left a message with my clinic and hoping to hear back from them soon. I have a total of 35 follicles growing at the moment, which is no wonder I'm feeling full. Especially on my left side, and I remember from previous IVF cycles my left has been the more dominant in producing follicles, so definitely it explained why I've been feeling full, and I'm very grateful that I've responded well to the medications. My previous cycle on STIM day 6 I also had 35 follicles, but they were all under 9mm. This time there were quite a few dominant follicles and the majority under 11mm, so they're definitely bigger this time in this cycle than they were last. But I'm trying not to compare because they're totally different protocols, different medications. It was just interesting for me to remind myself where I was at in a different cycle, if that makes sense. So yeah, I've got 22 follicles on my left ovary and 13 on my right. But again, there's only a few leading follicles. There's about 7 in total that are the size that they want them to be at this stage. They're not sure that the follicles that are under 11mm will have time to catch up, which had me a little bit confused yesterday. And I have yet to talk to the clinic about it, but when I was getting scanned, the nurse doing my scan said that sometimes the dominant follicles they will allow to over mature and kind of discard to give the smaller follicles time to catch up. But when I got a call back from a different nurse that afternoon, she said that it's not likely the smaller ones under 11mm will make it or will mature by egg collection. So I was a bit confused because it's contradictory information. I am at greater risk of OHSS, and obviously they want to avoid that happening. The door just opened on its own. That's a bit strange. So yeah, I need to find out what their game plan is, because they didn't really explain that to me. It makes sense, I guess, if there are already 7 good looking sized follicles, then there's no point continuing to stim me for longer and risk those follicles losing quality or all of them losing quality, because obviously the longer you're exposed to stim meds, the riskier it can get quality-wise. There was mention of egg collection this Friday, which I've never had an egg collection that early on in a cycle, but I'm so open to doing things differently this time. Obviously, previous cycles haven't worked out well, so yeah, I'm totally just trusting my specialist and willing to take a different approach. As much as I would love to have as many eggs fertilized as possible and as many embryos, because we all know once the embryos are fertilized the numbers go down dramatically, and we've had rocky fertilization reports in the past, but maybe stimming for less time will help our fertilization report and help egg quality. So that's what I'm hoping. So yesterday when I was talking to the nurse on the phone, I forgot to ask what my blood results were. I am assuming my estrogen levels weren't too high because they are keeping my STIM medication dosages the same. So I've continued on the 75 units of Gonal F and the 150 units of Pergoveris. And I'm going in for another follicle scan and bloods tomorrow. So I'll let you know how that appointment goes, and I guess we'll have a bit more of an idea of when egg collection might be. So yeah, I think that's kind of the rundown for now. Again, I'm so grateful that my body is responding well to the medication. That part of IVF hasn't really ever been an issue for me. It's been what comes after egg collection. That's what I'm scared about. But one day at a time. I'm trying to live in the now as much as possible and not worry about what I can't control. I just have to repeat that to myself 50 times a day to get through the day. I have been trying meditation each day, which has really helped. I've been using a program called Circle and Bloom, which is specifically designed for IVF, and it's been really helpful just to stop those waves of anxiety. I'll film giving myself my injections tonight and tomorrow morning. Hello, this is Celeste.
Hi, Celeste.
And an ultrasound. I'm just wondering if okay, so that was actually my clinic calling me back to give me my blood results from yesterday. My E2 levels are at 5,564 and my LH is 2.2. So I'm not close to ovulating, and she said those E2 levels are pretty normal. So yeah, 6 nights of injections down. The 7th night is tonight. I'm really lucky to not have any negative side effects from the medications. It's really just been the fullness in the ovaries, which after finding out how many follicles are growing in them is to be expected. So while I had the nurse on the phone, I also asked her the likelihood of egg collection on Friday, and she said it is quite likely. My specialist said it's very likely I will trigger tomorrow and egg collection will be on Friday. It's happening this week, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting next week, you know, based on when my egg collections have been in the past. So yeah, so that'll be cycle day 11, which is significantly earlier than past egg collections, which have been cycle day 17. So yeah, just hoping for improved results and praying this cycle is different. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and your continued support and encouraging words, especially over on Instagram as well as Facebook. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned in my previous video, I do post more regular updates on Instagram. I usually share information on Instagram sooner than I do here on YouTube, just because it's easier and quicker than, you know, it takes a while to sit down, film a video and edit the video and then upload. So if you don't follow me over there, feel free to, and I will let you know how tomorrow goes. Love and baby dust, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.
I was lost in a city dream, and I was at home again beside the stream. Then you walked past me and you saw